Who are the folks in the room? Just put your hand up. Who are the folks within whatever your capacity right now that you could say, unless you are aspiring to something else, that you can say you were born for that work? Are you in here? Anyone born for the work you do right now? You're living what you were born to do? Now you can put your hands down. Let me say to you, as it relates to these young men, those of you who put your hands up and say you were born for this work, that distinguishes you from everybody else. See, you can't go wrong when you're living what you were born to do. And see, again, that's an attitude. That's why you keep hearing me refer to myself as Principal Kafele. I was born for the work. So I don't know what it is to lose in this game, because I was born to do this. And when I'm finished this season I'm in of going around talking to folks like you, I'm going back to doing what I think I do best, and that is leading schools. See, but in the interim, it's an attitude. And what is our attitude as it relates to them? So in the school, there's a conversation. When I walk into a school, I want to see clearly the evidence that this school is about these boys going to college. See, so on the left-hand side, in the building, your buildings, you're talking about that right-hand side. You're talking college, you're talking university, you're talking college, 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 college. But wait a minute, Principal Kafele, college is not for everybody. Yeah, I know, that's what they told me. In fact, they told me I'd be nothing. See, so I'm saying to you that while that kid is in that elementary setting, where's the evidence in middle school? Where's the evidence within the building that we pride college? Where's the evidence in the building that we are promoting college? Where's the evidence in the building that we have high expectation that that young man is going to college? Is that evidence there? Is it there in the conversations? Is it there in the signs? Is it there in the pictures? Is it there in the descriptions? But is it all over the building, bombarding these young people with the fact that college is the next step? This is what we expect of you. Because see, when we don't do that, take a look at these two. You got the school, and now you got a prison. And see, I don't want that we haven't spoken college into his life, and then because we haven't done so, we wind up here or elsewhere. I want this boy thinking college, but we got to instill it in him. We got to have the conversation on a regular basis, on a daily basis. College, 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 college. So therefore, in that classroom, it's either going to be this or perhaps this, looked at differently. It could be this suit, or it could be this suit. But I'm saying, as you know, we have the power to ensure that he's in that business suit. But once again, as I said before, and I'm gonna show you in terms of video in a little while, I had to put those boys in those suits. I had to get them to see what it felt like to wear a suit. And it changed the whole world view. I'm not coming into my street attire. I'm coming into the school looking the professional that I'm meant to be. Let's keep moving, folks. So, in fact, I'm gonna skip this page and go right here. Let's get deeper now, because I gotta give you something concrete to take back. So many folks say poverty is the reason that we can't get it done. You ever heard that excuse before? You can answer that excuse with this proverb. It says, he who cannot dance will say the drum is bad. He who cannot dance will say the drum is bad. Fix the drum. And if you fix that drum, I'll do my thing. Because I'm going to tell you something, folks. Them technicians had about 2 more minutes. I wasn't going to blame that drum much longer. Getting ready to do this thing with just no visual. Right? But see, we can't make that excuse. See, I could care less about this. But here's the bigger picture. If that boy is coming from poverty, if that's what he came from at 7:30 that morning, that's what he's going back home to that afternoon. You can't change that. So if we can't change it, we can change the prospects, but we can't change the current condition. So if that's the case, then why am I going to spend my time dwelling on that which I have no control over? See, I'm going to dwell on that which I have absolute control over, and here it is right here. See, all of us in this room, hear me well, this is probably the most important statement I'm gonna make. All of us in this room must have power and influence over the climate and culture of our environment. We must. That is one of those non-negotiable pieces. We must have power, control, influence over the climate and culture that young man's about to walk into. But here we got about 800 people in the room. We need some commonality to definition. Let's look at this thing. Climate. There's so many different definitions of climate. I reduced it to one word: mood. I'm saying when I walk into a building, I just want to gauge the mood of that school for that youngster. And is it a mood which will enable him to be successful? Is it a mood which will enable him to take off the mask? Is it a mood that will enable him to want to strive to be the best young man he could be? Or is it a mood that will contribute to him being a bad decision-making student? See, what is the mood of that classroom? What's the mood of that school? Here's an example. Walked into a school not long ago. Went into a classroom. The walls look like the walls in this ballroom. Nothing on them. Nothing that spoke to those students. Because see, when I walk into a room, I'm not looking for walls that tell me about content. I'm looking for walls that tell me about students. See, I'm looking for walls where that student can walk in and say, that's me. See. So I walked into this room at an all-male academy, black males in the hood, had rows. And here's the students in the rows, and there's the teacher. It was disruptive. You could tell the teacher couldn't wait for the bell to ring, because about 2 minutes before it rang, he ran to the door and stood there. I didn't know what was going on at first. So he stood like this. I'm saying to myself, because I was there as a consultant, so I'm saying to myself, what's he doing? So then when I looked at the schedule, I said, oh, it's time to go. So he's standing like this here. And the kids are filing out after the bell rang, right? Bell rang, they jumped up, they filing out, and he's standing there like this looking up. He doesn't see them. So, talking about the word mood now, climate. So now I'm thinking to myself, at what point is he going to drop his head, look at them, and say, have an extraordinary day, have a great day, or what a dynamite day we had today. You did an extraordinary job today. And maybe reach out his hand and shake their hand. See, none of that happened. And then we wonder, well, what's wrong with these boys? And as I said before, ain't nothing wrong with them. So then I decided I had to make a decision. Do I stay and talk with him about what I just saw, or do I follow them and see where they're going and what that's going to look like? I followed them. They went down the hall and they lined up at the classroom door, and here comes the teacher. Happened to be a young lady. And as they were lined up, she went down the row, high-fived them all. I said, wow, look at that. And then she gave them some words of encouragement. And then they went on in. And the desks were set up as clusters, which implied that these kids were the stars of the show. See, we got so many schools that I visit, and the students are sitting in these rows. Let me take one of these chairs. And you saw the young man was saying to me, I need you to stay at the podium because we're filming. I said, I can't do no podium. I got too much energy. I got to walk. He said, but we got to move this thing. Just follow me. Right? You see, I can't stand still. You all see that? Some of you probably sitting in here, man, this dude, I wish he would stand still so I could focus on him. Yeah, I said, dude, it's all right. So, sitting in the classroom, 90-minute block. In a row. So now, he got to sit like this. I guess some people said, go up on the stage and do it. New 30, look at that. So now he's sitting in a row, all period, look at this. Energetic, man, not this energetic teenager or whatever grade it is, elementary, sitting there like this. Then the bell rings. Got 3 minutes, they tell you. 3 minutes to get to the next class. And then you get your new 90 minutes. Might raise your hand, might not. But now, what about the teacher? What about if I make the teacher the facilitator, the co-star, the extra, and let the student be the star of the show? See, so now I put him in a situation where he can participate and engage in his own learning. And now that energy he has, like Principal Kafele, I could give him opportunity, or at least vehicle, to utilize some of that energy. But then there's so much more. Let's keep going. Culture. I reduced that to one word: lifestyle. What's the lifestyle in this school? How do we do things for these boys? Is this a school that boy wants to attend? Is this a school that boy feels this will benefit me? Is this a school where after 3 o'clock I can still say that this, what I learned today, is relevant to my life? Because see, if I don't feel it's relevant, if I don't feel I can take it with me somewhere, then why do I want it? See? So I want to look at, how do we do things in this particular school? How do we do things in this particular district? What distinguishes us from everybody else? Let's look at it. I gave you that definition before, and the key words being the will to strive. But now let's go further. I know you tried to write that. You can download it. It's on the website. So I say that with this, we got to look in that mirror at us first, and we look at what does my climate and culture say relative to that boy, and then we look at these 4 questions. When my students are in my classroom, what do they see? When my students are in my classroom, what do they hear? When my students are in my classroom, what do they feel? And when my students are in my classroom, what do they experience? See, let's go to the last 2, feel and experience. What emotions are triggered as a result of being with you? What emotions are triggered as a result of being in your presence, in your room, in your school, principals? And what is the overall experience for me? Is it memorable? Is it everlasting? Is it uplifting? Can I look back on it and say that it made me into the man that I am today? What is it? And then we look at it differently. The climate and culture in my classroom. Do I provide a learning environment that fosters the proper attitude and decision making for my student success? Man, this time is racing. So with all that said, attitude is the vehicle, but climate and culture become the conduit, that tunnel to get us to the side of achievement.